I'm standing in the boardroom, mid-pitch, when Martin interrupts me. His hand shoots up like I'm a student who talked out of turn. "Let's give this to Trent," he announces, sliding my presentation across the table. The room goes quiet. My colleagues stare at their phones. Martin leans back in his chair, that smug smile plastered across his face. "Promotions aren't handed out, Ryan. They're earned." I feel my jaw tighten. My fingers curl into fists under the table. But I force a smile. Small. Controlled. Inside, something snaps clean in half. I've worked here for 6 years. 6 years of late nights, of fixing everyone else's mistakes, of being the silent engine that kept this company running. And now Martin's handing my work, my entire strategic pitch, to Trent. Golden Boy Trent. The guy who showed up 8 months ago with a Harvard degree and 0 real-world experience. I nod slowly. "Understood," I say, my voice flat. Martin doesn't even look at me anymore. He's already moved on, already talking to Trent about next steps and leadership opportunities. I sit there, invisible, erased. And in that moment, I make a decision. I'm done playing by their rules. Trent actually takes a bow. I'm not exaggerating. He stands up, grins at everyone, and does this little half-bow like he just performed Shakespeare. A few people clap. Some laugh. Martin beams like a proud father. I watch the whole thing unfold in slow motion. My name is still on the whiteboard behind them, Ryan's Q2 expansion proposal. But it doesn't matter. It's like I've been erased in real time. Nobody makes eye contact with me. Sarah from finance glances up once, then looks away fast. Probably feeling guilty. Probably telling herself it's not her problem. I don't blame her. Nobody wants to be associated with the person who just got publicly humiliated. I gather my laptop and notebook, moving slowly, deliberately. My hands are shaking, but I keep them steady enough that nobody notices. I walk out of that boardroom with my head up. The door clicks shut behind me. The hallway is empty and cold. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. I can still hear muffled laughter from inside. Trent's probably cracking jokes now, riding the high of his unearned victory. I take a breath. Then another. I don't cry. I don't scream. I just keep walking. I lock myself in the bathroom on the 3rd floor. Nobody uses this one. It's older, quieter. I grip the edge of the sink and stare into the mirror. My reflection looks tired. Hollow. He really did it, I whisper to myself. My voice echoes off the tile walls. I'm not even surprised. I've seen the favoritism for months. The way Martin lights up when Trent walks into a room. The way my ideas get shelved until Trent repeats them a week later. But this was different. This was public humiliation. This was Martin telling everyone in that room that I don't matter. That I'm disposable. I splash cold water on my face, letting it drip off my chin. My chest feels tight, but I'm not panicking. I'm calculating. Because here's the thing nobody knows. I'm not just some mid-level employee they can push around. I have something they need. Something they don't even know they need yet. I dry my hands on a paper towel and look at myself one more time. This is it, I say quietly. No more playing nice. I unlock the door and step back into the hallway. Game on. 3 years ago, I was doing freelance work on the side. Money was tight, and I took whatever came my way. A small startup called Velox Tech reached out. They needed help integrating a back-end system they'd built. Something proprietary, something powerful. I spent nights and weekends fixing their architecture, making it scalable. They paid me in equity and promises. 6 months later, Velox Tech folded. Turns out their investors pulled out, and the founders gave up. Most people walked away empty-handed. But I saw an opportunity. The IP rights to their back-end tech were just sitting there, abandoned. Nobody cared about it anymore. So I bought them. Cost me less than a used Honda Civic. I didn't tell anyone. Not my friends, not my family, not my coworkers. I just quietly signed the papers and tucked them away in a folder at home. I figured it might be useful someday. Maybe I'd build something with it. Maybe I'd license it out. Or maybe I'd just sit on it forever. I didn't know. What I did know was that the tech was solid. Clean code. Scalable. Secure. And completely mine. I paid for it. I owned it. And now, 3 years later, that random decision is about to change everything. Fast forward to now. Our company is launching a massive expansion project. Martin's been hyping it for months, calling it the future of the platform, a game changer, the next evolution. He put Trent in charge, of course. Gave him a team, a budget, the works. Trent's been strutting around like he invented fire. And here's the kicker. The entire platform they're building? It's based on the exact same architecture I bought from Velox Tech. I realized it 2 months ago. I was reviewing some technical specs for a minor update when I recognized the structure. The patterns. The framework. It was unmistakable. They'd taken that old Velox Tech system, probably found it on GitHub or some open source repo, and built their whole expansion on top of it. Except they didn't check who owned the IP. They just assumed it was free to use. Public domain. Up for grabs. But it's not. It's mine. Every line of code. Every algorithm. Every integration point. And they have no idea. Trent's out there giving presentations about his vision. Martin's telling investors about our proprietary platform. And I'm sitting at my desk, watching them build a multi-million-dollar empire on a foundation they don't own. It's almost funny. Almost. I go back to my desk after the boardroom disaster. I don't slam anything. I don't make a scene. I just sit down, open my laptop, and start working. But I'm not working on company projects anymore. I'm working on my exit strategy. I start printing documents, contracts, licensing agreements, proof of ownership. I save files to a USB drive. I make copies of everything. Emails, presentations, technical specs. I'm methodical, calm. Nobody bothers me. Nobody even looks my way. By the end of the day, I've quietly removed my name from every shared document I can access. Not out of fear. Out of strategy. Let them build their future on a foundation I control. Let them invest millions. Let them promise investors the moon. Because when the time comes, I'll pull the rug out from under them. Not with anger. Not with revenge. Just with a simple legal fact. I own what they need. I pack up my bag and walk out of the office. The lobby is empty. The security guard nods at me. Have a good night, Ryan. I smile. You too. Outside, the city is buzzing. People rushing home. Cars honking. Life moving forward. And for the first time in months, I feel something close to peace. Because I know something Martin doesn't. I hold the cards now. Over the next few weeks, Trent's rise is unstoppable. He gets a new title, Vice President of Platform Innovation. He gets a bonus. He gets a feature in the company newsletter with a photo of him pointing at a monitor like he's presenting groundbreaking research. I see it all from the sidelines. People congratulate him in the kitchen. They ask him about his vision. He eats it up, grinning like he's already planning his TED Talk. A few coworkers pat me on the back. Don't worry, Ryan. Your time will come. They mean well, but it stings. My time already came. It was stolen. I start collecting receipts. Every email where I propose the expansion idea. Every Slack message where I outline the technical approach. Every meeting note where I was the one doing the actual thinking. I don't say anything. I just save it all. Digital breadcrumbs that prove what really happened. Martin throws a lunch for Trent's team. I'm not invited. I watch from my desk as they all file out, laughing and chatting. Trent's in the center, of course. The sun around which everyone orbits. I take a sip of lukewarm coffee and open my laptop. I pull up the Velox Tech IP documentation. I read through it again. Every clause. Every detail. And I smile. I schedule a meeting with a lawyer. Not just any lawyer. Someone who specializes in intellectual property and corporate licensing. Her name is Janet Cho, and she comes highly recommended. I bring every document I have. The purchase agreement from Velox Tech, the IP registration, proof of payment, everything. She reviews it all carefully, her eyes scanning each page. This is airtight, she finally says, looking up at me. You own this outright. No question. I nod. I already knew that, but hearing it from a lawyer makes it real. She leans back in her chair. If your company is deploying this at scale without a license, they're in breach. You could sue. Or you could negotiate terms. I tap my fingers on the armrest. What would you do? She smiles. I'd make them sweat first. We talk strategy. She advises me to document everything my company is doing with the platform. Every deployment. Every investor pitch. Every public statement. The more they commit, she says, the more leverage you have. I leave her office feeling lighter. Not because I want to destroy anyone, but because I finally have confirmation. I'm not crazy. I'm not imagining things. I own something valuable. And they owe me. Big time. Martin invites me to dinner. It catches me off guard. Let's grab a bite, he says casually, stopping by my desk one afternoon. Just the two of us. Talk some things through. I agree, even though every instinct tells me it's a trap. We meet at a steakhouse downtown. Expensive. The kind of place with cloth napkins and waiters who refill your water every 2 minutes. Martin orders wine. He leans back, all casual confidence. I know the boardroom thing was rough, he starts. I don't react. He continues. But you've got to understand, Ryan. You're a solid player. Really solid. B+, maybe even A- on a good day. But Trent? He's got that edge. That spark. You know what I mean? I stare at him. My jaw is tight, but I keep my face neutral. He's telling me I'm not good enough. Again. To my face this time. Over wine and steak. I want to flip the table. Instead, I lift my glass. To earning it, I say. We clink glasses. He smiles, thinking I'm agreeing with him. He has no idea I'm toasting to his downfall. I start feeding small pieces of misinformation. Nothing obvious. Nothing traceable. Just little nudges that make the team more dependent on the system I licensed. Someone asks me about a configuration issue. I tell them to route it through the Velox Tech framework. Someone else needs help optimizing load times. I point them toward the architecture I own. They don't question it. They just trust me. After all, I've been here longer than almost anyone. My inbox lights up with requests. Ryan, can you check this? Ryan, how do we integrate this module? Ryan, the platform's acting weird. Can you take a look? I help them. Every single time. Not because I'm nice. Because I'm strategic. The more they rely on my expertise, the more they realize they need me. And the more they need me, the harder it'll be for them to function without me. Trent tries to lead a demo for investors. It crashes. Badly. He stutters through an explanation, his face red, sweat beading on his forehead. Martin steps in, calling it a minor tech bug. I watch from the back of the room. Afterward, Martin pulls me aside. Can you fix this? I nod. Of course. I spend 2 hours patching things together. I don't get credit. But I don't need it. Not anymore. A recruiter messages me on LinkedIn. Subject line. Exciting opportunity. I almost delete it. I get these all the time. But something makes me open it. The message is from a firm called Arcline Solutions. They're a competitor. Smaller but growing fast. And they're interested in me. Specifically. We've heard great things about your work, the recruiter writes. We'd love to discuss a senior leadership role. Stock options included. I sit back in my chair. Stock options. Leadership. Respect. Everything I don't have here. I don't respond right away. I let it sit for a day. Then I reply, let's talk. We set up a call. The conversation goes better than I expected. They're not just offering me a job. They're offering me autonomy. A team. A voice. They actually value what I bring to the table. I don't say yes. Not yet. But now I know my worth on the open market. And I know something else. If I leave, Martin's in trouble. I'm the one holding this platform together. Trent can take all the bows he wants, but when things break, they come to me. And if I'm gone? Good luck. The company announces the big news. Full transition to Trent's platform by Q2. It's all anyone talks about. There are emails. Meetings. A company-wide presentation where Martin and Trent stand side by side, grinning like they've already won. This is our future, Martin says, gesturing to a slide with Trent's name on it. The crowd claps. I sit in the back row, arms crossed. I laugh. Quietly. Just to myself. It's my system. Every line of code they're betting on. Every feature they're promising investors. It's mine. And they have no idea. I've waited long enough. Watched long enough. Been patient long enough. Now it's time to move. I pull out my phone and text Janet, my lawyer. Time to proceed. She replies instantly. Say the word. I type back. Send the notice. That night, I go home and pour myself a drink. I sit on my balcony, looking out at the city lights. Somewhere out there, Martin's probably celebrating. Probably popping champagne with Trent. Probably thinking he's untouchable. But tomorrow, everything changes. Tomorrow, they find out who really owns the future they've been building. I review the internal documents one more time. They're all over the company's server. Technical specs, investor decks, product roadmaps. Every single one references my IP. My framework. My architecture. And nowhere do they mention licensing fees. Nowhere do they credit Velox Tech or acknowledge that someone else owns the rights. They just used it. Assumed it was free. Assumed wrong. I download everything. I organize it into folders. I send copies to Janet. This is perfect, she tells me over the phone. They've committed publicly. They've built their entire expansion on this. If they don't have a license, they're in serious legal trouble. I feel a surge of satisfaction. Not anger. Not revenge. Just the calm certainty that I've been right all along. They took what wasn't theirs. And now they'll pay for it. I draft an email to Martin. Just one sentence. Let me know when you'd like to discuss licensing. I attach a single document. The IP registration number for the Velox Tech framework. I don't explain. I don't elaborate. I just hit send. Then I close my laptop and go to bed. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. Martin doesn't respond. Not immediately. But I know he saw the email. The next morning, I walk into the office and he's standing by the coffee machine, staring at his phone. His jaw is tight. His smile is gone. He glances up, sees me, and looks away fast. No smug grin. No condescending remarks. Just silence. I pour myself coffee and walk past him without a word. Later that day, I get a calendar invite. Quick chat, Martin's office. No subject. No agenda. I accept. When I walk in, he's sitting behind his desk, fingers drumming on the wood. What's this about? He asks, gesturing to his screen. My email is open. I sit down casual. Just making sure we're on the same page. He narrows his eyes. What do you mean licensing? I lean back in my chair. The platform you're building. It's based on IP I own. Purchased it 3 years ago from Velox Tech. Completely legal. Completely mine. His face goes pale. He opens his mouth. Closes it. Opens it again. That's not possible. I shrug. Check with legal. I stand up, smooth my shirt, and walk out. Behind me, I hear him frantically typing. A VC from another firm reaches out. Her name is Dana Park, and she's sharp. We meet for coffee. I heard a rumor, she says, stirring her latte, that you own the system your company's building on. I don't confirm or deny. I just wait. She leans in. If that's true, we'd be very interested in working with you. Licensing. Consulting. Maybe even a partnership. I ask what she has in mind. She lays out an offer. It's generous. Really generous. More than I'm making now. And it comes with respect. With recognition. We believe in rewarding the people who actually build things, she says. I tell her I'll think about it. But I already know my answer. I'm done being invisible. I'm done watching other people take credit for my work. When I leave the coffee shop, my phone buzzes. It's Janet. Your company just launched an internal audit. Legal's going crazy. I smile. Let them panic. Let them dig through contracts and server logs and investor emails. They're not going to find a paper trail connecting the platform to anything they own. Because it doesn't exist. It's mine. And they're just now realizing it. The audit spreads like wildfire. People whisper in the hallways. Meetings get canceled. Legal pulls engineers into conference rooms, asking questions about code origins and development timelines. Trent looks nervous. He's not smiling anymore. He keeps glancing at Martin, who keeps glancing at his phone. I watch from my desk, pretending to work. But really, I'm just enjoying the show. Nobody's found my name in the documentation. That's because I made sure of it. Every time I contributed, I did it verbally. Every time I helped, I left no digital trace linking me to ownership. I was just the helpful coworker. The guy who knew how things worked. And now they're realizing there's no paper trail. No proof they own the platform. Because they don't. I do. Martin calls another meeting. This time he includes me. Trent's there too, looking pale. Martin clears his throat. We need to clarify some things about the platform's origins. I nod. Happy to help. He shifts in his seat. Do you have documentation proving ownership? I pull out a folder. Physical. Old school. I slide it across the table. Everything's in here. He opens it. His hands shake as he reads. Trent stares at the wall. And I sit back, waiting. Martin tries to negotiate. Let's work something out, he says, his voice tight. What do you want? I don't answer right away. I let the silence hang. Finally, I speak. I want what's fair. He nods eagerly. We can do that. Equity? Bonus? Promotion? I laugh. Quiet. Cold. I already own it, Martin. I'm just wondering how long you're going to pretend you don't know that. His face hardens. You're bluffing. I stand up. Ask your lawyers. I walk out, leaving the folder on the table. Behind me, I hear Trent whisper something. Martin snaps at him. Doors slam. Voices rise. And I keep walking, calm as ever. Because this isn't about anger anymore. This is about power. And right now, I have all of it. That night, I get an email from the company's head of legal. We need to discuss terms. I forward it to Janet. Let's set the price high, I tell her. She sends back a smiley face. Already on it. Investors catch wind of the IP issue. A board meeting gets called. Emergency session. Martin tries to explain, but he's stuttering, stumbling over words. It's a minor complication, he says. One investor cuts him off. Minor? You built your entire expansion on unlicensed IP. That's not minor. That's catastrophic. Silence. Martin looks at Trent. Trent looks at the floor. I'm in the back row, arms crossed. One investor makes eye contact with me. He doesn't say anything, but I see the question in his eyes. Later, he emails, let's talk. We meet at his office. Tall building. Corner view. He offers me a seat. You own the platform, he says. Not a question. A statement. I nod. I do. He leans back, hands folded. Martin's in over his head. The board's losing confidence. If you're open to it, we'd like to bring you on. Properly. With the recognition and compensation you deserve. I ask what he's offering. He names a figure. It's triple my current salary. Plus equity. Plus control. I tell him I'll consider it. But inside, I've already decided. I'm not staying at a company that treated me like garbage. I'm not saving Martin's career. I'm moving forward. On my terms. With people who value what I bring. And if that means watching this place crumble, so be it. Arcline Solutions makes their move. They officially offer me a leadership role, Director of Platform Architecture. Double my salary. Full control over my team. And they want to license the Velox Tech framework. The right way. Legal. Ethical. With my name on everything. I say yes. But I ask for a delayed start date. I need to wrap things up, I tell them. What I really mean is, I want to watch Martin squirm a little longer. The news leaks. People start congratulating me. Trent avoids me entirely. Martin tries to corner me in the hallway. You can't just leave, he says. We need you. I stop walking. Look him in the eye. You should have thought of that before you handed my work to someone else. He opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. I keep walking. That night, I get a message from Sarah in finance. I'm sorry for what happened. You deserved better. I don't reply. It's too late for apologies. But I appreciate the acknowledgement. At least someone saw what was happening. At least someone cared enough to say something. Even if it's only now. Even if it doesn't change anything. The company drafts a formal licensing proposal. They send it through legal. Janet reviews it with me. This is insulting, she says, pointing to the numbers. They're offering a fraction of what the platform is worth. A one-time payment. No royalties. No credit. They're trying to lowball you. I'm not surprised. Even now, they're treating me like I don't matter. Like I should be grateful for scraps. I reject the offer. No counter. No negotiation. Just a flat rejection. Martin freaks out. He calls me. I don't answer. He emails. I don't respond. Trent shows up at my desk. Please, Ryan, he says. We can figure this out. I look at him. Really look at him. He's scared. For the first time since he got here, he's realizing he's in over his head. You didn't earn this, Trent, I say quietly. You inherited it. Just like your title. He walks away without another word. Janet drafts a response on my behalf. It's polite but firm. Mr. Ryan declines the current terms. Any future discussions will require a substantial revision. We send it. Then we wait. Because now they need me more than I need them. And they're finally starting to understand that. The company delays the platform launch. Investors are furious. There are emergency calls. Crisis meetings. Martin tries to spin it as a strategic pause. But everyone knows the truth. They can't move forward without me. And I'm gone. Funding gets pulled. 2 major investors back out entirely. The stock price dips. Employees start updating their LinkedIn profiles, sensing the ship is sinking. Trent gets reassigned. Quietly. No announcement. He's moved to a smaller project. Out of the spotlight. Out of Martin's inner circle. I hear through the grapevine that he's looking for other jobs. Good. Maybe he'll learn that titles and favoritism only get you so far. Eventually, you have to deliver. And he couldn't. Martin tries one last time to reach me. He shows up at my apartment. I don't let him in. We talk through the door. I made a mistake, he says. His voice cracks. I see that now. I don't respond. He keeps talking. Tell me what you want. Anything. I open the door just enough to see his face. He looks old. Tired. Broken. I wanted respect, I say. But you can't give me that now. It's too late. I close the door. He stands there for a minute. Then he leaves. Martin resigns 2 weeks later. The press release calls it a strategic transition. I read it on my phone while sitting in Arcline's new office. My office. Clean desk. Big windows. A team that actually listens when I speak. The news spreads fast. Former coworkers reach out. Some apologize. Some congratulate me. I respond politely but briefly. I'm not interested in rehashing the past. I'm focused on the future. The company tries to salvage the platform launch. They hire consultants. Expensive ones. But without the proper license, they can't deploy at scale. And without me, they don't have the expertise to make it work. The whole thing falls apart. Investors sue. Employees quit. The company that once seemed untouchable is now scrambling to survive. And I watch it all from a distance. No anger. No bitterness. Just quiet satisfaction. I meet with Janet one last time. You did it, she says, shaking my hand. You stood your ground. I smile. I just stopped asking for permission to exist. She laughs. We celebrate with coffee. No champagne. No grand gestures. Just two people who knew the law and used it correctly. I leave her office feeling lighter than I have in years. I leave a printed letter on my old desk. I don't make a scene. I don't send a company-wide email. I just place it there, next to a box of my personal items. The letter is short. This was never about revenge. This was about respect. I don't sign it. I don't need to. Everyone will know it's from me. I walk out of that building for the last time. The security guard waves. See you tomorrow, Ryan. I smile. Take care. Outside, the city is alive. People rushing. Cars honking. Life moving forward. I take a deep breath and feel something I haven't felt in years. Peace. Not because I destroyed anyone. Not because I got revenge. But because I finally stood up for myself. I finally said no to being invisible. I finally claimed what was mine. And that's worth more than any promotion Martin could have ever given me. I get a text from Dana Park, the VC. Heard the news. Welcome to the winning side. I reply with a thumbs up emoji. She's right. I am on the winning side now. Not because I crushed anyone, but because I chose myself. And that makes all the difference. 6 months later, I'm sitting in a conference room at Arcline Solutions, leading a strategy session. My team is engaged. Asking questions. Contributing ideas. It's everything my old job wasn't. We're preparing to launch an updated version of the platform. Licensed properly, built ethically, with my name on every patent. The system runs smoother than ever. Faster. More secure. Because now it's being developed by people who care. People who respect the work. Investors love it. We've already signed 3 major clients. 2 more are in negotiations. Arcline stock is climbing. And my name keeps coming up in board meetings. Not as a footnote. Not as the guy who helped. But as the architect. The leader. The one who made it happen. It feels surreal. But it also feels right. Like I'm finally where I was always supposed to be. One afternoon, I get an email from my old company. They're officially licensing the Velox Tech framework from me. Terms are fair. Legal. Respectful. I approve the deal. Not because I need their money, but because it's the right thing to do. And because it proves, once and for all, that I owned what they needed. They just didn't realize it until it was too late. I'm at a tech conference giving a keynote speech. The room is packed. People lean forward, listening. I talk about intellectual property. About protecting your work. About knowing your worth. When I finish, the applause is thunderous. People stand. A few even cheer. Afterward, dozens of professionals come up to shake my hand. That was incredible, one woman says. You really turned things around. I smile politely. But inside, I'm thinking, I didn't turn anything around. I just stopped letting people walk all over me. I stopped waiting for permission. I stopped hoping someone would see my value. I created my own path. I claimed what was mine. And I did it without burning bridges or becoming the villain. I just stood my ground. That's all it took. Later, I'm sitting alone in a hotel room, looking out at the city lights. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Sarah, my old coworker. Saw your speech. I'm so proud of you. I smile. Type back. Thanks. That means a lot. And it does. Because even in the darkest times, there were people who saw me. Who believed in me. And now, I'm finally able to show them, and show myself, what I was capable of all along. I didn't need Martin's approval. I never did. I just needed to believe in myself.